right, shalom, shalom. Out here another day in and day out. Prophesied the downfall, which is modern day Babylon, spiritual Egypt, Sodom, all these kingdoms in one, you know. And uprising of Israel consists of so-called black Americans of the elect scattered across the world, you know. And foremost and always, giving all praises to Yahweh.
Yo, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Akakwadash.
Barakatah, Al Barakatah, Al Shai. Double honor to the apostle, elders, great snowstorm. Must I take to the right the word for the hopeful next to the like most I will to extend it. Hopeful next shalom. Blessings. You know, continue to talk those names. Yahweh, Shai, Yahweh, he is here to be. Yahweh Shai, he's to deliver. You know, and that he is alone is an important factor. You know, so hope he delivered. This is the hopeful year coined by the apostles, by the apostle Mark, hopeful year of our deliverance and destruction and judgment on Esau. So, you know, we're spiritually living off the grid. No matter how much we got to work for these devils, you know, clock in, whatever, we still spiritually off the grid, meaning we ain't down for this world. We ain't down for Esau's new world and tactics and all that. You know, we Most High got us under his wings, in the shadow of his wings. You know, off the grid of this devil. You know, friendship of the world, what y'all got? You got it, a little loud, man. You know, that wind, you good? Yeah, that wind at 19 miles an hour right now. We're at 19 miles an hour right now. The Lord trying to burn down some more stuff in this thing. My thing is how is yours the more heavier one? And it blow over, but Satan is out here, we out here too. Woo, boy, that wind boy ain't playing today. Alright, this is really bang this thing. Yeah, in the world, not other world, King David. In the world, but not over. That's it right here. I think that's how it starts off. Okay. Yep. This is John, chapter 15, verse 19, and it reads, if ye were of the world. Yeah, if we were of the world, go ahead. The world would love his own. Well, it would love us. We was talking about God loved everybody. We was talking about, you know, free will and do as thou will. We was bigging up these celebrities like they do into idolatry and American Idol worship and all that. They be for us. They be lined up in the court, you know, around the block like these new celebrities. Go ahead.
But because you are not of the world,
We're not of the world. We'll do worldly shit parties, birthday parties, holidays. You know, hey, we talk about, hey, I'm gonna celebrate that at the job. They look at you funny. You know, tell them America, you know, America. Tell them the truth about America. They look at you funny. Truth about these nations, they look at you, but you know, it's mainly America. And you know, nobody likes prophecies, and nobody likes the prophets because they speak about prophecy. That's one in one. That's one in one. Go ahead.
but I have chosen you out of the world.
Most High, hey, he said, hey, it says, you know, paraphrasing, honor him that chosen you to be a soldier. Most High chosen it, like, you know how Esau, he get that from the Bible. You know, few good men. He chosen, you know, he wants a few good men. Well, Most High chosen a few good men out of Israel to be his church, to be his ministry. You know, chosen him us out of the world. These worldly fashions, worldly things. That's why it says, if you, even when you marry, a man's gonna be more pleased of what he could do for his woman because she likes the things of the world, likes, you know, diamonds and jewels, and, you know, and big buildings and museums. And how do you impress a woman? You gotta take her out and shit, you know. And the Netflix and chill thing, I'm just relating this to that. Netflix and chill thing is what you're gonna do. You can get some box. So it's either getting some box at your house or going out, flashing and experiencing the joyfulness, so-called joyfulness of the world. We ain't about that, man. We can have fun in the house. We have fun spiritual talk all day, wherever we go, in the house, in a restaurant. Because it's the joy of the scriptures that, the power of the scriptures that give us joy. Power of the names of Yahweh Yahushai, the presence of Yahushai, putting his saints out there, putting the truth out there, going back to One West, you know, that gives us joy. Go ahead.
Therefore, the world hateth you.
So Most High chosen us out of the world. Like when you chosen, let's say you chosen for a team, you might have some other team that have been on the team list. You know, like basketball, you got how many players? You know, you got 15 to 20 players, whatever, but only 5 can play, and only 5 can win the game because it's competitive. Then you got to be like, damn, I'm you know, damn, I want to play harder because I want to be a part of that elect team, that elect core circle of that whole team. You know, of the whole Israelite Most High chosen to elect. You know, only certain men can play. And certain men are built for the rehearsal practice of, because they've been practicing.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, just like Saquon was saying, like, to do that, you got to live off grid. Yeah. Because everybody's going to be put on the grid with MOTB. We already spiritually prepared to live off grid, man.
That's what that elect is. Spiritually off the grid. Because, you know, like a game, this is the Most High's game. This is the Most High's movie. So, you know, if you in the grid, in the matrix of this thing, you know, on the corner side, you're gonna be trapped in these entrapments. You're gonna be trapped in this world. You know, you're gonna live in the grid of this place. So when that shit go down, what are the people gonna be doing? They're gonna be listening to the news. They're gonna be listening to Esau, what he got to say, where to go, how to eat, what to eat. You know, what to do in those moments. You know, they ain't gonna be going by the Holy Spirit. They're gonna be going by what Esau said.
He had a video where he showed where you could get on your iPhone and you can click certain stuff. And if you was off grid, it'll send them a signal so they can come get your ass and put you on the grid. You know?
Exactly. You see, I kind of, you know what I'm saying? It sounded like, you know, I was jumping off talking, but I was getting to the point where when the Most High chosen you out of the world, that's spiritually off the grid. Because you learn things just like the Matrix. Sometimes you got to eat the same shit every day. Now, what are they doing? They recalling a lot of these beats, a lot of these like you said, those shakes that they took. It was poison.
Yeah.
But you gotta use your mind and slow down and be like, what is the Most High saying? Okay, don't be radical out there. Like, let's just try everything and shit. Let's just delve into just, that's what the American world is about and shit.
They got them shows where a dude just go around all over the world and just try random ass movies. We ain't doing it.
Yeah, the Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah.
The Crocodile Hunter, he was supposed to be dealing with alligators. Then he went to stingrays. He went outside his he got stung. He got killed by that. Like, stay in your lane. Focus, your lane, man. They want to try the different. Israel want to taste different stuff, man. See, remember said in the Apocalypse it said the gate was wide at first, man. Like, we used to eat up. We gave it 8 months. I said you can eat up that tree, but don't eat a tree up. Now you can't really touch any tree. No. But this. Yeah.
These are it's kind of moving to that. We got to keep narrowing down choice in the physical.
It's supposed to be simultaneously. Like, I mean, like a parallel mirror, so to speak. You see the things going down in the world, you be like, shit, I can't do that in the spirit either. So, like, even though we work for these jobs and all that, we still spiritually minded to be like, damn, anything can happen. They can fire me anytime. We don't depend on that shit like they're gonna be hiring us. They can get hired forever. Like, we just, a baby sucking on the nips of this American system. Mm-hmm. This is spoiled milk right now. Yep. The taste of America's milk. It's like, man, bitter everywhere we go. And that's what Apostle Bar always mentioned. This place speaks bitter. You can't get drunk enough. You can't get high enough. It's not the right kind of woman you want. It's not the right kind of space you live in. Not the right kind of boss and shit. Not the right kind of food. Not, it's like, damn, what's left? Going off the grid. Like the Matrix, they said they going off the grid. The Sentinels was trying to pick them up, but because they was off the grid, they was like, damn, somebody's out here, and they have to keep real quiet. Remember, if they just say, hey, don't, and what it said, the EPM, it says, what did the Sentinels say to do? Destroy, search and destroy.
That's all coincidence. He saw him so-called white man making all this AI shit.
They want to destroy. They want to search and destroy. Destroy your spirit. Destroy the core of your DNA. Destroy your belief system, man. You believe in the Most High now. Hey, well, AI said this. AI did this. They're trying to erase AI, Most High, and replace it with AI. So staying off the grid with the Most High, spiritually off the grid with the Most High, and his names, man. Those names matter, man. Most High's name is off the grid. That's cool. They don't use them in the world. I'm glad they don't use the Most High's name. Even though the apostles hit on because they, that's to be true for the righteous. But I'm glad. Hey, if how you might see don't say the name. Hey, cool.
It's gotta be like that, because then what prophecy was that? It said he only manifested a certain men out of the world to call on that name.
Yep. Yeah, and it's always been an elect. He said he's always set up 7,000 men that wouldn't bow down to the Baal. Yep. Back then he chose Noah and shit. They Noah. What makes you special?
John chapter 17, verse 6. I have manifested thy name. And this Yahweh speaking unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world.
Most High's name is Yahweh. He is. He is to be. He exists. What did Esau say? He don't exist. What did it say in the scripture? It says the fool said in his heart that there is no God. That means they saying there is no Yahweh. There is no power like that exists. Well, the Most High said he does exist. He is. in his son. And Yahweh Shai came the name of his father, the works of his father. He said the meat, his will is to do the meat of his, his meat is to do the will of his father. You know? So Yahweh Shai was off the grid. He wasn't for the Roman church, man. You know? He wasn't for them, man. He said, give it to Caesar what is Caesar, and give it to Most High what the Most High. That's division. He ain't including Caesar with the Most High and shit. Go ahead.
He got out.
He cried though. He said, this is he that cried in the wilderness. You know? Crying out. We crying and sighing the same thing. All the abominations that done with this. Go ahead.
Thine they were, go ahead. And thou gavest them me,
And that's how you know the Father and Son is separate entities. They one and the same, but they different entities. You know, the Most High gave Yahweh Shai. He purchased through a purchasing that he bought the Israelites. You know, because you can't just have everything, man. You just can't have your cake and eat it too sloppy. You just can't own everything. You got to go through a system, man. You got to go through a process. And even in this physical world, you want some land, you got to sign some contracts, and they want to know who you are and what you're using this for and shit. You just can't buy no fucking land here, man. You know, if it's private property, it's gonna be like this. Nah, you can't build here. You can't own stuff here.
and that's the same way in the truth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna just be anybody and stick with this. You ain't gonna just be just some regular ass man and understand that this is the only way out, man. This is the only way out.
And we'll get that too, because it's the prophet, like it's written. It says one man may enter at a time. That's narrow gate. It ain't no wide, broad gate no more, man.
It ain't just everybody can just come and learn about the Lord.
And that's another thing too. Like back in the days of Acts, it was thousands waking up. It ain't gonna be like that. It's gonna be a few because it's getting smaller and smaller, man.
Everybody else gonna be listening to what they saying, man. And they have kept thy word.
They have kept thy word, man. That's not all men, man. You know, because Jake, hey, you know, this MOT pieces and this New World Order, Jake won't fall for that shit, man. It's already niggas lined up to do drone operators and working in these type of industrial type of technocracy and technocracy. They gonna start making new titles. You know how Jake felt privileged when he had titles and shit. Oh, you're a janitor / a custodian. Hell, that sounds better than janitor. Custodian. Man. You know, they call people passing that was walking by the street pedestrians. I'm a pedestrian. Don't touch me. I can get into the law with you. Got all these savvy titles and shit. Well, they're gonna make some technical savvy titles. But Jake gonna fall for that shit. Now these black women gonna be like, I'm a, you know, a technical MOTP monitoring operator and shit. You know, I answer phones for the operator, New World Order operating system.
Technological drone advisor. All your ass do is order in the parts and shit. You ain't even fixing that.
Yeah.
And they just think, yo, you got your ass thinking you want to do something. They gonna leave your ass out there for the missile. They ain't gonna come get you when it's time to go down in the bunkers, man.
Yeah, they got a eject button and send you another way.
Yeah.
When you in their
They gonna say the bunkers is right here. They gonna put it on your phone. You gonna get over there. It's gonna have a ha sign over there. No, go ahead. I'll finish that one. I got the go ahead.
That goes on the top.
Jeremiah 51:6. Yeah, Jeremiah 51:6. flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul.
Yeah, Babylon right now. And it's talking about really in your mind, the spirit first, and then hopefully we get some of the spirit. Most high wants your spirit to resonate with set up. Get out of here. So, what is Babylon confusion? What is confusion? All this stuff that's set up. Democracy is confusion. That's why you see all of these computer buildings and there's wires everywhere and shit. I know it's they got Wi-Fi now, but watch some of them older movies, there's wires every fucking where. Computer parts and shit. It's all computer. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Man, it's not gonna work, man. Yeah. Like that's what look at these cable wires and shit, crossing and all that. People have cable wires in the kingdom. All this is confusion, man. Don't need none of that. Traffic and shit. People, you got road rage and shit. We ain't gonna have no fucking road rage in the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? And then they had a nerve to talk about advanced technology like flying cars and shit. You can't even get the ground right. You can't even get traffic right down here. Yeah. Most I say, the earthly things you can't even understand. How can you understand heavenly things? Y'all can't even get traffic right here. Right. Go ahead.
He says, "Be not cut off in her iniquity."
Cut off in her iniquity because she's been iniquity against the Most High. Abominations in her heart, in her mind. She didn't design all this for your luxury, for your freedom. All this is a traffic. You got dead ends. You got the cops set up in certain pockets and shit, wait for Jake to speed and shit, wait for Jake to cross the street without, we still gotta live by those rules, man. But spiritually, we off the grid. They can't say nothing to us spiritually, like even with their Christian talk. Yep. The tongue. It said the tongue ain't gonna fall up on us. It's gonna fall upon their own. So it's getting so bad that these damn antichrists, they trying to take what we say and twist it in with their doctrine and still call them the wrong name. That's what we get to. They know what we right, but they still don't want to return. So they taking our scriptures and they taking our points and they're trying to tie it in with their doctrines. And that's what's gonna get their ass destroyed, man. That ain't the way this go, man. You playing with fire. Playing with fire, man. Real fire. This is gonna show manifestation. Playing, man.
For this is the time of the Lord's Yahweh Shemel vengeance.
Yep, this time of vengeance. What are you gonna do? Bench for his right. Yep. That you got locked up in Cackle. Under surveillance with evil tactics, man. Yep. It ain't even it says that you got watchmen to watch over the souls for your soul's sake. But then you got evil men watching over your souls to take your soul, to make you sell out. And that's what Jake don't get. You got to get offline to get online. Yeah. You got to tap back into our power source, man. Yeah. That's why you got to get offline, man. That's why the apostles say get into some of these remedies, something like the herbs and shit. Like online, they got medicine, they got pills and all that. They got all that shit that you can provide, but to prop you up as a dummy, dead, really. Popped up like a dummy. Most High said, eat the herbs. On the ground, it goes right under your feet, basically. They got the liposuction. They don't want to work it out no more naturally. They don't want nothing naturally done no more, man. They want to microwave your ass and have you doing everything microwave style. Watch you niggas get caught in that cyber crime because they got what they say, they got a system that you can. This Jake woman brought it out. He said you can do your sentence on virtual reality in 5 minutes or something. Yeah, but what do you know? What if that's a torture chamber in the virtual reality world? Looks like they have in Black Mirror. The plague of the mind could be torture to you. Job said that, torment me with his dreams. You could be tortured in your mind because you think it's real. Yeah. So you might have a 10, 15-year sentence, but on virtual reality, it might be 10 minutes, but you frying your spirit, your mind is frying them.
Yeah, because you're gonna feel like it was actually 15 years. That's why, like, when you have a dream and you be like, man, that was a long ass dream. That dream probably was only like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, man. And it felt like you was in there for hours and stuff, man. So this stuff ain't no good, man. We're not giving you an alternative to bring you ease, man.
Nah.
Especially if you committing a crime. Like, what makes you think that this is supposed to be to help you, man? They just want to find different ways to torture.
And that's why they watch people off the grid. They watch these commercials. I mean, these YouTube videos of how to create fire. They watch the videos. You see how many views you got that you can plug your power source into a tree and get light and shit. They watch those kind of videos because they know everything got to do with electricity. Even we got electronoids in our bodies and shit. Electrons, neutrons, ions. That's one of the key words. They know. Like when you take a pill, we just talked about it too. With some of these drugs, it activates people. In the Matrix, when he said he take the red pill, it activates your I forget what word he used, but it says it activates your neuron, whatever, your cells, to track what's in your system.
And what made me think about it, we seen this video Will Smith just did, because he was supposed to be in the movie The Matrix, right? And in the music video, he takes both the red pill and the blue pill. And that's what he saw want to make you think. He want to make you think you can live on grid and off grid. You can be part of the Most High chosen, but you can still live like these people out in the world, man. That's what they doing, man. They want to make you think you can just do whatever you want to do, man.
Oh, was that Leave the World Behind movie when he was controlling them Teslas and controlling the cars and all that? Esau got remote control cars out here. So, you know what I'm saying? If he want to get, if Jake try to escape in a car and shit to the outer, precincts and outer, he gonna make the car stop. You can't even go no more. The Jake, when these things come to pass, Matthew said, flee to the mountains. Jake is gonna try to flee from the city, but everything is in the city: food, water. And he made it like that. He designed it like that, so you can't go out where do they chase people when they want to kill them? When Esau want to kill, you chase them in the forest because nobody's there. You can just bury a motherfucker, and they don't find that body until like 10, 20, 30 years later. But in the city, everybody saw stuff. That's why it talks about that woman. That there's a woman in the city. If she cry out, but there's a woman in the field. If she cry out, her voice can't be heard. We don't want to get too far from the Father, but we can't hear his voice. Those that want to enter the world into this rabbit hole in the Matrix, they can't hear the Father's voice. It's too far. They're too far away.
Because you trying to act like you in the truth, but at the same time you out here in the world, man. And that's what they got Jake doing right now, trying to take the red pill and the blue pill. You can't go to the straight gate and the narrow gate and the wide gate. You can't go through both gates, man.
Can't serve two masters.
Can't serve two masters. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow.
The entrance of that is narrow, man. How is everybody gonna make it when the entrance is narrow, man?
You seen that club where 59 people died, they only had one exit. A whole bunch of people got trampled too, man. 100 injured, 59. They barely got in through that damn gate. What makes you think you gonna get to the kingdom?
Exactly. You got that one club that caught on fire. Everybody burned in. It was 2 exit doors. If you didn't know the exit door, you try to get it. Imagine 50 people trying to get through an exit door, one exit door. So Most High is doing this gradually on the righteous side, like 1 minute at a time. Okay, cool. Yeah, you go, you go, you go.
Yep.
But all of them are gonna try to do it at the last minute, where they gonna bunch themselves and nobody's gonna make it.
Yep. Ain't nobody gonna make it because they don't understand order. It's a single file line, man. It's order.
That's what the military always.
Yep. And if you're trying to usurp authority, and get in front of authority, that's you trying to cut in line, man. The Lord ain't with that. We're going one at a time.
That's what it said. Prophesy one at a time. One prophesy, one interpret, one do this, one do that.
You keep that calmness, you know. I'm not saying that we just calm in the sense of like sometimes you hear us talking in bumping our voice, but we mean like calmness is your spirit, man. Be patient.
Your understanding.
Yeah, your understanding, man. Be patient, man. And the Lord will show you what you need to do. Through the men that's above you. That's usually how he show you. He said the Lord showed him to do nothing but reveal it into his secret to his prophets, the secret to the prophets.
The secret to the prophets.
That's how you learn from the prophets.
Most High share secrets. We don't share them with everybody. How you gonna have a secret and everybody know about it? You know, it's a secret, man.
In Psalm 91, what it says, in Psalm 91, it said, they that was in the secret place, was
secret chambers or something like that.
They that dwell in the secret place, taking something but the paraphrase. So the secret place is that's everybody don't know about it. Like you said,
come right there. So what? Just come right there. You guys, you listening there. Go ahead.
The secret place is true.
Because we're called the hidden ones. That means we ain't on the grid, man. Just because we work there, that doesn't mean we on the grid. We gotta work, but let Esau do some of this MOTB shit. Fuck you, man. Because that MOTB is a mass control to where he's mocking the Most High. Like, remember it said about Job, he said, take their hand away from him. They're gonna curse you. That's what the Most High said about this MOTB. Well, watch them get in line with this. We force this on.
You know, for you new people, the MOTB is the mark of the beast, man. You know, the beast is NATO and the EU. You know, this stuff is
and the MOTB is the microchip,
the RFDI chip, man.
Because Most High gonna turn this technical, right? He's gonna get hype it up, technical, where you gonna speak the school language is gonna be technocracy. Did you get your what they call that? You know, in Matrix they called it. They had the characters. His name was Malcolm, and they mixed it up with technology and the Bible, Trinity, Morpheus, you know. Nebuchadnezzar, the shit, they mixed all that shit. It was really Babylon, man. But we spoke out the moons. You know what I'm saying? It was based on technology that taking the pill. He said he'll track your system inside. And he said to turn a man into a battery. And that went over Jake's head. He said, battery can turn somebody into a battery. They met robotic type of thinking.
And that's what they doing today. That's why they want you to take that's why they want you to get prepped up right now. We all got to get the real ID. That's the first setup. You know, to get us to where we're all on grid. And you got Trump doing the $500 billion setups of all the AI technology by America. So that's what they get us set up for. We got to live off grid. We got to be in the spirit and know that this is a wonderful Lord, not to be dealing with this shit.
Remember back in well, you know, I don't know how to play, but you had to sign in and to be in attendance. And then they went into they went into the clock in where you had your card. You put it under there. Now it's your hand. And now it's and then they did it up where it's your fingerprint. You actually doing this.
That's what I gotta do with my job. You gotta go in there. They got your fingerprint in their biometric system. But if Jake been to jail, they already got your fingerprint. They got your fingerprint when you're born.
So they gonna be like, you just gonna clock in like this, like so your face. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. How deep you gonna go with the rabbit hole of this Matrix shit?
Going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 7. And it reads the entrance thereof is narrow.
The entrance is narrow, man. It ain't for everybody. Go ahead.
And it's set in a dangerous place to fall.
A dangerous place to fall. It ain't gonna be easy. Going through that narrow gate ain't gonna be easy, man. Because everybody want to get there. Could you imagine everybody getting the door and how difficult it's gonna be to get out that building and shit? Like,
especially if they frantic, they're not settled in their spirit, they're not rooted in the truth.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real hard for them. They ain't rooted, man, and that's how they gonna fall, man. Because they panic. You can't panic in that time. It said, be not hasty in the time of trouble.
Yeah.
And the only way through that is understanding order and understanding the system that the Lord set up to get certain men out of this thing.
Yeah, part of that order is patience.
Yep.
Because it's avoiding the system. Most I say, you plant a seed, you gotta water it. You can't just plant it and it grows. You gotta water the thing.
Yeah.
And then it grows, and then it reaches the surface, and then you gotta still water. You gotta keep up with it.
Some weeds will grow around it. You gotta cut the weeds around it. You gotta cultivate around it. You gotta make sure it's got the right soil as the foundation to grow it.
Just like a real young teenager, they just think they can just drive the car. No, you gotta put gas in it, put oil. The engine gonna go out. You might get in a wreck. You gotta get that damage taken care of.
Gotta check your tires. Gotta make sure you know certain things is in there, man.
Your coolant, your oil. Like if you don't take care of all that, you be like, damn, it's expensive as hell to take care of it.
Or you gonna start your trip and you ain't gonna make it to your destination.
And that's the same thing that happened with Adam. Most High gave him all those things, but he said, now you gotta take care of it, man. Till the ground, name the animals, do this and that. And Eve took him away from that. She took him away from his responsibility. That's what Eve would do. It take you off your foot. Like, you don't have to do the work. You don't have to, But that's the main thing they want is money. How do man make money and shit? Go work. The fuck? You can't get paid without working. Go ahead.
Like as if there were a fire on the right hand.
Fire on the right hand. And it feels like a carnal expression of taking the window or the stairs. What you want to do? Because they both gonna hurt. Window or the stairs, they had that on. I'm gonna get some suck out of it. They gonna hurt. Go ahead.
And on the left, the deep water.
Deep water, man. So you in a narrow gate, but you gonna feel some of that heat. And you gonna feel some of that water and shit.
You can really compare it to, how only the righteous survived the flood, and then the fire today is some missiles, man. That's we're trying to dodge both destructions. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to be reminded of both the one that happened and the one that's about to come. You gotta stay in between that.
We want to stay in that narrow path of forgiveness, righteousness.
Because they're both example of destruction. So we want to stay out of the way of destruction, of Most High's judgment. Because what did he say? He saw men. He looked down and saw men continually evil. So he said he brought a flood. Most High brought that flood, man. And he's gonna bring a flood of the missiles.
And that's how it is now. And we know that Jake in the world, and we all, when we come into the truth, we gotta fix certain things about us. But once you know, then there ain't no more repentance of sin. That's where the trial starts. When you know better, that's when it's like, all right, now you ain't got no excuse. And that's what this is for. This is the Lord bringing us here, so you can say, all right, I gave you the blueprint. So this is what you got to do. You got to do it like this.
Like I said, you're in front of a tree, you're in a wide field, you really can't do too much evil, man. I mean, you just sitting there. You ain't got nothing to fight against, but Most High wants you to face this and put this stuff in the midst of you, so you can exercise your senses of what not to do.
He wants you to see resistance. He said we ain't gonna enter into the kingdom of heaven, but too much tribulation. You ain't going through no tribulation. And that's a problem. You gotta go through something, man.
Women is a temptation. Why you think they got the mind to not have anything on? Because to tempt, it's a part of the. Let's see what you're gonna do, is my men. Let's see what you're gonna do. You're gonna fall for this. But if you don't see no woman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's easy. It ain't no easy road. It's gonna be hard, man.
He gonna put you through something else if it ain't that.
Something else you're gonna be that. It's not that. It's gonna be something else.
It's gonna be something else, so you gotta be prepared.
Some people, I heard of a but I heard of a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
And I said, how does that exist? Like, but it does exist. They can't help but still, like, they just. But that's a flag of their mind.
Yeah.
Even if it's like theirs and shit, they'll still steal it. Or you know what I'm saying? Because they grew up like they accepted that spirit. They grew on it. They grew into it.
Give something to somebody just a jacket.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, didn't you give me that shit last week? Like, I don't know.
Jay crazy. Or he'll give something to somebody and steal it from them. Oh man. A kleptomaniac. These people are maniacs, and they the spirit of the rim, but they've been indulged in.
Verse 8, and one only path between them both.
One path. What is it? Only one path in between them both.
About the fire and the water. Yeah. And only one path between them both.
Yeah, it's only one path. It's like that Michael Jackson video, Billie Jean, the squares that lit up. That's that path. Yep. You go outside of that, you effed, man.
You're gonna end up in judgment.
Yeah.
You know,
you gonna when you like people say, you rather drown or burn in fire. And
neither one.
Yeah, neither one. And people be like really contemplating that because they both deadly, man. Yeah, they both deadly.
Neither one. We want to go straight. Even so, between the fire and the water, so small that one man go there at once.
One man go there at once, man. Like you in line, like they go line, they line up for Black Friday and shit. And then but they get impatient and shit, start choking up each other, killing each other. They line up for fast food and shit, and they get bothered and shit. My fast food ain't fast enough. Well, on the righteous side, we're lined up in an orchestration order. And we ain't gonna rent ticket and catch them like you people that do on the left hand side. We're just gonna patiently, just like, you know what I'm saying?
And it's like that through the whole infrastructure, man. Yeah. It's like that through the whole infrastructure. They got it where if you choose one of these two paths, that video on Live TV about Noriega. You know who Noriega is? Okay, you remember Nas, right? You know Nas? Back then, Noriega was big too at that time. He was making $55,000 a show, man. And they took him down this hallway, man. He said, he took him down this hallway. He said, I don't know. He said on the left. He said, I don't know if it was some homo shit there. You know, I on the right. So say, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. What he had to do? He had to go to straight gate. He had to go to hard way. What he say? I ain't never went down platinum ever said. See what I'm saying? That's how it is. We can't really. We gotta stay off grid.
Everything is
can't get established here, man.
Everything is a decision. Even when they approached Kanye West, they said, so they was pressure him. They say, are you with the Hebrew Black Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah.
He contemplated. Yeah. It was pressure on him because he didn't think they was gonna ask that question. He's like, damn. Yeah. But the question's gonna come. You believe in Yahweh Yahushua, you gonna have to say yeah. I mean, if you don't believe, you're gonna say yeah. It's gonna be in your spirit. And then if you say no, you deny the Most High name. You deny, it's, because like Apostle Hart said, they was saying, don't teach in his name.
And sometimes, like when Yahushua, when they tried to ask him questions, he didn't even answer at all. Yeah. Because by this time they should know. Yeah. We do this every week.
Well, he said that. He said, you know yourself.
Yeah, you know who we are. It's like the demons. They said, we know this guy, but we don't know you. Right? And then they beat his ass. When he tried to come over there casting out demons, they're like, y'all ain't this gonna work. You know,
and the circumcision that pressure Yahushua, he said, don't it say in your laws and your guides, you know this, you're the masters of the law, like.
And therefore they grab you and they take you up to the councils, take you up to the synagogues. Yeah, that's a good sign that you're the elect. Yeah. That's a good sign.
That's why I say, rejoice when you're first blood, rejoice when you're affliction, man.
Because after that, man, you one of them 144,000 elect men, you one of those men, you got everything. Everything.
Also, I said, he that has will be added into
Yeah.
You know,
We lost everything here. So
lost it.
that's that 100-fold, man. We're gonna get everything back, man.
And see, Eva's still on the grid. She's still on the grid, like on the treadmill, like breakdancing and everything. She's on the grid, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She said she got the house. That happened in the 90s. Come live with me. Come to my church. Come to the job. Her family, you know what I'm saying? She got all the stuff. But we started learning now that we never should have listened to her.
She trying to tap in on the bridge. It's always been like that. She want to be free, you know. And just like Paul was saying, like that word, you know how it said to be desired, that D means like the king. Desire means king. So they always gonna be trying to rule over us. That's why you gotta tame it. If you're gonna get one of them, you gotta tame that thing. You can't be just letting that thing run around. Do whatever she want to do. You gotta, you can't do this. You
tame that thing. That's a old school song.
You know
right
what I'm saying?
Tame that.
Yeah, you know. You can't get no stallion and then you just let it just buck around and be crazy. You gotta make sure that thing's structured because the Lord said get our house in order. That's why we try to be real careful with women we deal with. Because if we got a woman that's out of order, then we out of order. That's how the Lord is. We consider his woman, right? The bride Israel, right? So if we out of order, you gonna have to get rid of that woman. My house is in order. So it ain't nothing, you know. Women think it's something personal with them. It's like, no, we're trying to get right with what's up.
Like I said, these women, they really, they love it. They love dominating by men. You know, they might try and say, you know, on the surface, it may seem like they don't, but inwardly,
they confused though. They listen to this shit, think like a man. So now they trying to play both roles at the same time.
Stick it on top.
I was going to just get the definition for brain. Okay. The framework of base bars parallel to across each other and grading. Framework network. That's a key word. Network. You know, we ain't on Esau's net. Oh, matrix.
Yeah.
Matrix is a grid.
Yeah.
Lexus. Crisscross.
And a lot of people don't know that matrix, the word matrix is in the Bible. It's in the Bible 5 times. Okay? And when you look up that word, it means the womb. You know? That's the matrix.
Yeah.
You know?
Here. Like we were born, let's say you were born in American home and spiritually we belong to both sides. These are captivities. These are not birth, original birth, what do you call it? Origins.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, these are not birth origins right here. We are originally born in Jerusalem, but now we're in captivity. So when we are born in this matrix, AI type of world that we saw. Born. I'm about the matrix.
The matrix, like you said, going to the word womb. You know, they were
like an artificial.
Yeah. And they were sleep. You know, until it was
That's why the Morpheus said they're no longer grown, they're born. So I said born. You're no longer they're grown, meaning that they are already indoctrinated from the womb into the system. Like when you first come out, you got the straw man. Where look on your birth certificate, it's all caps. That's straw man. That's captivity. You got your fingerprint on your birth certificate. That's a fingerprint is a digital makeup. And they say it too that no fingerprint is alike on the earth. You know what I'm saying?
You know, in the movie, right? They were, Morpheus, Leo, and all. They were able to go into the matrix and leave out of as they
but that's what we doing.
That's what we doing.
We're going into the matrix. Hi, boss. Hi, this and that.
Like we don't know what the fuck going on.
Yeah, and then we
Get out blood. You gotta get Now you gotta plug in there.
It's kind of like, have y'all seen Thor? That movie Thor? He went into the job and said, "I'm Thor."
Yeah.
You can't say I'm Israelite with your garment and shit on.
Yeah, that's why he was like Superman. Is what he still with the daily. He went there with his glasses on. He was lazy, fucking up.
He would lead off the grid. He would go away. He would lead up the planet.
And that's what we're doing in the spirit.
Pretty soon, you ain't gonna have to be there. Superman, he revealed himself to Lois Lane.
And that's another thing. Like that's what Samson did. He kind of revealed himself to his woman. So we gotta be careful with that. You know, your woman ain't supposed to know everything that's going on.
Hey, if they don't believe we princes of power, so what? Or what? Hey, let them believe that.
And the ones that do, you don't have some of them that do, because you got a time where it's coming a lot of women going to the real. And that's the only way you ain't getting blown up to be men. There's only one man to go through once, and how you gonna go with that man? Is it he go possession? The wife, man that gets the wife gets the possession. You know, and if a woman don't agree with that, man's gonna get left.
That's why Mary Magdalene approached Yahweh said she saw that power, like he raised up from the dead, like
he had that new body.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
We always talk about the straight gate, and the straight gate is the one that rebuketh at the gate. At the straight gate that gets rebuked. There's rebuke. If you don't got that, that's you're not going to the straight gate. Go ahead.
For wide is the gate.
Wide is the gate. Go ahead.
And broad is the way.
And broad is the way. Broadway. It's all the shows and all that. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody want to be like shit. Don Robinson is homeless. That's a code word for off the grid. She ain't really homeless. She look healthy as hell, like a homeless. You know what I'm saying? Eat 3 meals and all that shit off the grid. Because they know these celebrities are starting to find out they really murdering people out here. So they be like, damn, where can I go for safety? Because Kirk Franklin, he's off his rockers and shit. T.D. Jakes, he's getting caught up in some scandals and shit, having heart attacks and shit. Where the church? Because they used to be their church to depend on and shit, the celebrity church. Now they be like, where can I go? I'm gonna go off the grid. You know? But they got satellites. You know, they got satellites and shit watching us. But we're spiritually off the grid, man. They can't touch that. You know, go ahead.
Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Oh, leading to destruction. It says, don't follow multitude. If everybody's saying, the children, don't follow that shit. If the whole world is singing Kumbaya, don't go with that shit.
And that's also part of what is resorts. You know, to go to the grave parties. You know what I'm saying? What they say, the bride is the way. They go in. They're in. And that's why the apostles, you know, they stay away from those. You that's the one.
The whole rave caught on fire. It was like a legal club, and they got trampled. You know, that said follow White Rabbit, Neo follow, and that was a rave party. They were going out to the bus, beans in it. But it says, and many there be which go in thereat. Many there be that go in thereat. And remember back then, in the 90s, there used to be house parties. You didn't go to no clubs. You had a house party was kind of like the fashion of what we supposed to be doing in the spirit.
it's supposed to be a house. It's supposed to be a circle of the people you know. And then somebody show up at the house party, they'd be like, "Who is this dude?" You know what I'm saying? But now in the club, nobody knows nobody and shit. At the house party, you get to know everybody that was your house, because they was your family and shit, or your close friends. So now it's dwindling down to where now it's like it's no more of that. You know? Okay? So meaning the world got worse. Most High said there is an inclusive wickedness. What did it say about the sins of people grow? They increasingly wicked, continually wicked. There's a such thing as a continually wicked increasing of evilness. The brain that was in Adam's heart, how much it had grown from that time to this time. So there is a growth in wickedness. You could be rooted in wickedness. What are Antiochus, the wicked root?
Yep. In the Greek Empire,
yeah.
You know, he had our people speaking Greek, and you know, had them doing Greek customs.
Yep.
That's why they try to say that now in the New Testament, where it say neither same Greek and Jew is the same. They trying to say that's talking about the Gentiles. Them come, nah, it ain't them coming in. That's talking about our people who in the Gentile state of mind, Hellenized. You know, they were in a state of mind of living like them,
just like now. They're Americanized.
Yep.
You know, American customs. Jake don't really follow these American customs and shit.
Yeah.
You know, they got black culture. You know what I'm saying? To divide between them and the American way and shit. Just like that. What is his name? Dude with the afro, with the fist up. Did this some Colin or something?
Love or something. One of them others.
Colin or something. Yeah, he stood up and he had the afro and put the black fist up, and he played football, I think. He put the black fist up and did like this, and there was a whole issue about it. You know, the Kanye West thing, that Bush don't care about black people. You know, but that's the carnal side of it, man. That lets you know, Jake, he never been satisfied with America. It's a bitter ass place. Go ahead.
This is 1324. Strive to enter in at the straight gate.
You gotta strive to enter in. Get a definition of strive right there. You gotta get in your place, Remember that game musical chairs? They go around and try to get in the chair before the music stops. Well, yeah, before the destruction comes, sit in the chair. Musical chairs. Yeah. They go around, they run around and shit.
You know, because this is the song of Moses. You know, and that makes sense because it's like a song of Moses, but when the song stops, like, you know, when we stop teaching the word, the family of the word gonna come. You better be in your chair. You know? So it's like, I was singing the whole time. I had some brothers that was trying to get in, they couldn't get in. They're like, that chair. He running down the way.
One last open chair.
You got Jake diving for that.
That's how we are with the. We want to be as a hopeful elect. We want to be an elect. We trying to get that seat.
Yeah, I got
that narrow door. Go ahead.
Oh, this is strive in the blue letter. It says enter. To enter a contest. Contend in the gymnastic game.
On the contest. You know, this is Most High said, run the race. You know, and do it to the end. Like them track stars, if they run their test pass the baton, if they drop the baton, they're gonna make the whole team lose.
The whole team lose, man.
You know,
we trying to get first, man.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody on your relay team gonna drop the damn baton.
Yeah. These all made a thing called second, third, and fourth place. There ain't no second, third, fourth place. It's only one place. It's only one elect, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Esau made it like that because Jacob was kicking his ass in sports and NFL and basketball. He's like, we're gonna have to make a second place.
Make a second and third place again.
Nah. That's what it is, man. God, man. They ain't too proud. Birthday, yo.
You don't get no runner up. You gonna have the king,
Like you said, man, you can't get your award most high in the world in the world. These celebrities they get accolades now. They world shit now. They crowns now. And they look at us like, shit, what you got? I got a double platinum album. I've been on TV for 20, 30 years. What you been doing?
They gotta continue to get
Yeah.
like basketball, football.
Yep.
They get it that year, that trophy. They gotta do it again.
They just get reset.
Oh, they nobody.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, they just get reset. They gotta do everything they just did.
That's it, man.
You don't have to have
I'm trying to get some.
To show you how much they changed.
I don't soda.
Yeah.
Which is Greek for that strive. It says right here, struggle literally to compete for a prize.
So that means Michael Jordan, he didn't take no days off. According to the Last Dance, he was consistent with his work because he didn't want to lose no games. And he got 6 championships out of it.
You know, it said over here, it just says, you know, devote serious effort and energy.
Yeah.
Endeavor. You know, struggle or opposition.
Yeah, so it ain't gonna but your competition, what you used to call it, your effort and your work becomes fun because this is the job that you like to do. Like Michael Jordan, he loved playing basketball. He wasn't. So it was a great work ethic, but it was enjoyable too to him.
Yeah, but you don't know any great basketball player, or football player, or athlete
That didn't enjoy.
and they come on. They don't make no sense.
Yeah.
See, like you said, we love to do this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like to do that will. You know, we love to do this, and it's not like Pastor R say. This ain't a chore for us. This ain't a burden.
The burden comes by men.
Right. Yeah.
But not by the word. Man.
Right. It ain't. I gotta do it. I gotta study.
Yeah.
No, we actually love it. It get tedious, but at the same time, we love it. That's what we love about it.
Yeah, but
we understand that it's like we understand like how tedious. We understand that it's tedious, you know. And we look, these people in the world, they not willing to do what we do, man. You know,
you know, repetition is a father's skill. And like, what makes you think if he made the burden light for us? All we got to do is study and make sure that we know how to rule at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna receive the universe forever? Like, there's got to be some striving for that. You know what I mean? He made it when it was hard.
He could have been still in slavery. Or slavery.
Yeah.
Not even getting paid salvation while you're in slavery.
Yeah, what I know salvation was, we like ain't even getting paid for our work. You know, nothing, man. Straight nothing. You know, so he's making it a lot easier for us to get right. So it says, for many I say unto you will seek to enter in.
Hey, they will seek to enter in. That means, hey, you was like I told that woman, you can seek to. It's a lot of people that want to be basketball players. They want to play on the pro team. They'll never get there. They're not willing to put in the work, or they just not chosen to be that. Everybody can't be a Jackson family, man. We're all the talented. You know what I'm saying? They don't stop you from not wanting to be a singer and all that. You still got to get, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't the Jackson family. But, you know, just because we ain't favored in this world, that don't mean that we got to, you know, that we stop this truth, you know? Just because the world don't like us. And Yahweh Shai already said the example of the world not liking him. He said the world hated him first. You know? Okay.
And shall not be able.
And they ain't gonna be able. You want to play the game, you want to be a part of that team, you will never be able. Because you just wasn't, you ain't right. You know, you didn't choose, Most High didn't choose to be on that team. So what about them? Why can't they be on the team? Why can't everybody shine like Michael Jordan? Well, elite, they got a elite figure on the left hand side. Most I got an elite figure on the right hand side. You can't be a regular Jake ain't gonna be elect. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Oh, what did he say? So all were the race.
Yep.
One.
Yep. Well, yeah. We all run the race. And you gotta be focused when you're running the race. Even when you're like, you know, when they play basketball and they at the free throw, people be doing that thing to distract you and shit. But they'll be like, hey, make you miss and shit. If you ain't on your focus, you'll miss that, and that's the winning point of the game. And it's a person that always makes the free throw, but he got distracted or something. Or even this woman, hey baby, make that. Fucked up. You know? Then you mad at your woman, but you can't be because you got distracted by her.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all?
They run all.
But one receives the prize.
It ain't no second winner. It ain't no second prizee or whatever you call it. It's only one that receives the prize. Man. You know?
Like he said, many are called, but few are chosen. Yeah. He said, so run that ye may obtain.
Run that you may obtain, man. You got to run, dodging the potholes, dodging the whatever, like off the grid, because Esau gonna try to make it hard. He's gonna raise the rent. He's gonna raise the taxes. He's gonna try to divide and conquer. He's gonna make put AI in the place of a lot of stuff. He's gonna put a woman over you at the job, trying to cut you out like you're a little kid and shit. You gotta get through that shit, man. As a grown ass man.
And you got these other camps, ISU, K, IUIC. See how many people they got in their groups. We know the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. There's too many of them. And the Lord specifically said he only sold it.
But you can put us in those sanctuaries.
Yeah.
But it ain't like, and to show yourself as a big camp consistently on TV or whatever.
Yeah, that's vanity. Yeah, and they ain't teach you what the MOTB is. They ain't teaching you prophecy. They're really going into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing as well, because us in the group that we in, we do have brothers, but it's like he said, it's small sanctuary. He said that it'd be a small sanctuary, and he only gonna show those men how to get through. There's only one man at once. You can't have 100,000 brothers in one camp to get through that. It got to be spread out.
And somebody's an agent up in that mother.
Yeah, at least one of them. You know what I'm saying? Usually, in the bigger camps, it's a little bit easier to detect in the smaller camp. You can kind of be like, all right, this dude, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna get it. This is second entrance, chapter 8.
Another struggle, they'll disappear. Like I said, go with a friend, you see him be standing in the midst of your adversity. They'll disappear like a mother.
Like Jeremiah God said that Chicago, you know, you struggling, you ain't going, you ain't respect. Period, point blank. You're not a man of the Lord. If you ain't out here struggling in some type of yeah, you ain't a man of the Lord, man.
Yeah. This is 2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 62. And it reads, these things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee.
Yeah, a few like me, not all men. Few and some like me.
So we ain't in that spirit of like, oh, let's just get this brother in the camp and stuff like that. We're trying to make sure that whoever comes around the camp is serious, man. Because we striving seriously trying to get in. And you don't want to be around somebody like that during Jacob's trouble. You heard of Jacob's trouble, right? So okay, a little bit learned up. Yeah,
Well, that's how Jake do. He wants the gold that's mixed with metals. I just look like gold. Some Jakes want that pure gold.
yeah.
And the goldologist or whatever, it's not a word called that. He really got Jake really into gold and he sell gold, do business in gold, and he admired gold. You know, I don't know carnal level. He just know gold. He know the value of real gold. He gonna know. He gonna tell a Jake that that's not a real like all gold, right? It's mixed with metals. Nah, man. I bought this chain was like saying nah, man.
And they do that too because you can't even really wear real gold.
Yeah,
it's too powerful.
And it's too fried. It's too dense. It's fried.
Yep. It's just too powerful, man. That's why he said I'll make a man more precious than fine gold. So you can't wear it.
And I was gonna make because I watched them make gold, and it's like it looked like gold, but they dip it in again.
Yeah.
And then they take it out. I'm like, are you ready? It's just like a woman that used to cook, and you be like, it smells good. It smells bomb. It ain't ready yet. No, another hour. But they used to take their time with the cook, and they knew how like the measurements of things and how long it took to really be ready and shit. They don't do that. They don't know that shit.
See, and that's how you feel like how powerful gold is. Like they don't people in the world, they don't understand it. They don't know about like gold, like the games, like the unit by gold, real gold.
Gold is from the ground.
Well, Yahushua, he's the only one that can harness and carry and hold that gold. That man. That's the only one that's going to be able to hold that and utilize it where it's actually effective for the earth to be reused.
They say go to Oprah or something. So it's more gems that's valued than other. They all hold a special significance of value.
Go ahead. Then answered I and said, Ezra. If you didn't know in the Old Testament, the book of Ezra is Ezra. That's just his Greek name. That's just his Greek name. It's the same person. If you didn't know, maybe you knew, but that's just a little tip right there for you. Verse 63. Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last time.
Man, just the things that people can't see, man. Like even the earthly creatures, people can't see Most High doing a miraculous. That's why he said, "Go to the ant." Y'all stuck it. You like the ant? Coming into my house and shit, I'll be trying to get rid of. Yeah, go to that.
Go figure out what that's doing. It's working all the time.
And, always working. Like you said in second, you said a multitude of wonders. You gonna say word wonder? That's like things that people never seen before. So that's what the Heavenly Father from here on planet Earth, man.
Yeah. Over there when they had the blood moon last month. Yeah. I got a picture for somebody, and it showed 2 planets lined up behind the moon, man. The blood moon, man. Took a picture and sent it to me. That's what I'm saying. The planets is aligning and stuff, man. Signs in the heaven. That's how we know that these times are coming. Even though he didn't show Ezra that time, he's seeing it. He's seeing it now. He's seeing through the events the earth as well. You know, there was that earthquake that just happened in Thailand, 7.7 earthquake. They come out 100,000 people probably dead. You know, that sounds from the Lord, man. That sounds from the Lord.
It's kind of crazy because it says all the creatures wait for the manifestation of the Son of God. And the manifestation's already now. Yep. But they ready, they wait for spiritual power. They want to overall this thing to be changed overall. Yeah. It's changing right now. You know, God does his work, man. It's just like a baby being born. Nobody is at the woman's stomach doing no crystal ball shit. It just grows in the woman's stomach and it comes out. Nobody's like checking on it every now and then like a cake and shit. It just grew. Most High just already has that orchestrated.
And that's the one thing Esau's trying to do. He's trying to take a soul, a spirit, and put it in a body.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. That's why even when they did sit there and diligently watch, you know, a woman, whenever they put the sperm hit the egg, they seen that light come on. And they was like, yeah, it's an massive amount of zinc. That's all they can come up with. They can't tell how that spirit got there. Though.
They can only tell referred to as what do you call it?
What elements are being activated? What elements are being activated at the time?
Because the elements supposed to cater to us.
Yep.
The elements supposed to be subject to us. Yep. You know, if you wanna tell a plant to grow and it'll grow.
That's why the Lord made, like he was talking about in the Matrix. He made that movie because he said, which mean I can dodge bullets. He said he ain't gonna have to because we're gonna be controlling the elements. We don't have to control the dodge no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, and basically it was going into the elect.
What did it say? When Jake run from the cops, they said the wicked flee when no man pursue it. Yep. We ain't wicked, so we be like approaching the cop like, "What's the problem, cop?" Like I ain't done nothing wrong and shit.
Because really, they work for us. Yeah. The Lord said that order, and that shit, that set up in here to punish wicked Jake. Well, you ain't wicked.
You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Even though we all do something, that's the trial of faith. No, that's a whole different thing.
That's why when they come for the elect, Most High coming for their ass.
Coming for their ass, man.
It said all the numbers of the elect, all the hairs of the elect are numbered.
Yeah, you can't blame them.
So you come for us, devil. You put your hands on the elect. You know, that's like the righteous blood of Abel, man. Like y'all proving y'all came. Because with it, righteous blood of Abel, it called out to the Most High. Most High said, "Yes, listen to our prayers now."
Jake looked like everybody.
It was a disconnect. You know, when Most High said, I turn your feast into morning, I turn your feast days into morning. I won't hear your prayers. And we're like, man, we cry. You know how you don't want to hear your woman? You're like, man, close the door. I don't want to hear that shit. Shut the fuck up. And then she kind of calmed down. She's like, what? And then she get humble. Then you start working with her again. Like, all right, yeah, but you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do that. You know. So we coming back to our power, and we speaking His word. We ain't speaking our own opinion. We shutting ourselves up to shit. I don't want to speak nothing of myself. That's why we able to prove all things. The words of the highest mouth. Go ahead.
So it says, see, it's part of the Son's past, which verse 2.
God's always telling the thing before.
Yep.
I told you beforehand. Yep. Stirring up your remembrance. Remember this. Remember, I took you from the hand of the enemy. Always.
Yep. We took us out of the land of Egypt, which means what? We was there. That's why we being reminded. Yep. He ain't gonna just remind some people he wasn't dealing with. Yeah. So that's how we know that the Spirit coming on us today. He had to have been there. He wouldn't want us to remember.
That's what the scripture says. It says, my spirit bear witness. The spirit bear witness to our spirit that we're the sons of God.
He said, remember, you're supposed to be living off grid. That's how I had you last time when you left Egypt.
Remember the wilderness. Because y'all was complaining the wilderness. What do they say? Moses, you brought us out here to die. What are our people saying when we say, hey, don't take their jabs? Oh, so you want me to die because I'm sick? They say the same thing, you know. Don't take the MOTB. Oh, but what about my house and shit? I'm about to lose it. They're gonna be saying the same shit.
Yeah, like they said, well, you brought us out here to die in the wilderness. You should have just let us stay in Egypt. You know, in Revelation 11:8, it said this is spiritual side of Egypt. We're back in captivity again. You know,
They start talking shit. We're gonna do what we want to do. And no matter what you say, who made you God? That's what they say to us. Who made y'all judges? We're gonna do what we want to do.
And they try to say we Israel too. So we should have that. You know, we should have that statue to be able to make our decision. All right, go ahead. But you know, you had the elect always at that time that stayed, and they stuck around and they stayed with Moses, and they you know, they kept the commandments to the best of their abilities, man. You know? Verse 2, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world.
Oh, how is he visit the world, man? Right? It's how is he visit the world? Earthquakes, tsunamis, storms, you know, and ultimately his son Yahushua and angels, they come and visit. You know, you better have your house clean. That's why the apostles always have a house clean. You know, when your parents come home, like, oh shit, look out the window, oh, Pop's pulling up, Mom's pulling up. You gotta get to sweep everything on the rug, and then they say, oh, they know. You gonna sweep everything under the rug, Get in there.
Get your ass in there, clean that.
That's what the two-third Jake gonna be doing. Them 5 virgins that didn't have no oil.
They didn't have that knowledge.
Time or season, whether I have no need to tell you. You already know. Like that scripture right there, like you read. He said, when you see the signs that I told you about before come to pass, then you shall know that this is the same time. Look, so that's how we know that this is the time that Yahweh Shemel Shah was the Heavenly Father going to send his son to do.
And you know how, like it says in Sirach 39th chapter, you know, it says stay occupied in prophecies, because there's still going to be people waking up. There's still going to be people coming around and realizing there are bits and pieces that the Lord hadn't revealed to them. So that's why we continually go over it. And it's because it's the best story in the world. It's the best story ever, man. It's the best story.
It's the best heartfelt feeling that you able to feel with your spirit.
So after that, it just says what you made. You know, that's what it is.
Like we got a purpose now. But then you like, I want to, you say this, I want to be president. The president got shot. Like, man, what's the difference between being a nigga and the president getting shot? They sniping at Trump. What chance do I got? They shot John F. Kennedy. What chance do I got? Like shit. I'm like, what? Think of something else. Teaching. Well, teachers are getting, you know.
You never know.
They going to jail and shit happening in the school and shit. Like, damn, I don't want to be caught up in that.
You never know. They probably got drones flying around the camps. You know, different brothers out there. Matter of fact, he was out there in the camp. Always, he got a cherry. He's like, this is wrong. But you know, they might have been out there like,
you walked out the front door one day, it was a drone flying right there in front of our face.
We saw that movie. What was that movie called? It came out. It was a routine. It just came out and do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Eat breakfast, go to work. They send a package.
oh yeah.
It was. It's basically the Great Reset.
Yeah.
Some dude made a little animated video, and the dude like basically he went on grid.
Yeah.
And they had him in these little apartments. People wake up every day and they had wasn't in jail, but they had like, so he had a little screen where he could watch the news, tablet. Then he had like some locusts in there, some food in there every week. They drop off to him. Yeah. But they was charging him for it. Yeah. And then all he could do, he couldn't leave. He had to wear his mask when he go outside.
Yeah,
and
you so bad. And they drone to shoot at you and knock you out.
It'll zap you if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Like if you weren't wearing your mask, it'll shock your ass and shit. You had to put the mask back on and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
they don't understand how real that shit is. Sophia Stewart, the one that created the Matrix and the Terminator, she did an interview not too long ago speaking about the and this AI technology. She said that he wrote, she like, people don't even know he wrote not trying to get the killing. She ain't gonna get the coming up against him. You know, because they put it in these movies. He might not get as radical as, you know, as robots turn it over.
Jacob is the serotonin that they search for.
You already got the Tesla car turned on the people there. That was the lady, she was rich, and she drowned. Her car backed her up in the water, and she drowned in her car and wouldn't let her out. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. They already turned on there. I had some.
You taking it off the grid?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit, this is spirit. It says Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened to 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And see, everybody got their lamps. Everybody know the truth. Everybody going out there teaching and all that, you know.
Yeah.
It says, and 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, like the apostle said. They lost that oil. Even with leader IUIC, when he didn't say the names no more, he lost that oil.
Yeah. So they knew that they were Israelites, you know, but they didn't want to call them the true name. They didn't want to teach the prophecy. Yeah, they didn't want to teach the correct prophecy. They over there talking about when we get to the kingdom, they talking about Russia gonna try to fight us in the kingdom and stuff. Where y'all getting this from? Who told y'all that? Yeah, he talk about. They was talking about the 38th chapter, I think, in Ezekiel. They trying to say that that's when they gonna come down and try to attack us, or after we got the kingdom. Like, no, bro. After this, there ain't gonna be no more war. They tripping, man.
2 Corinthians 11:2 right there.
Yeah, man, they just all over the place. Then you got Safari, they talking about some, 2/3. You ever heard, you heard the prophecy of 13 acres, going to 2/3, get cut off in the land. So I ain't got nothing to do with this. They were like, we just teaching them in the wilderness how to get right. We on this test plate. Where y'all getting this stuff from, man?
See what happens there.
2 Corinthians 11, chapter 11, verse 2. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband.
One husband, one truth, one baptism, one faith, one Lord.
That I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahushua.
Chaste virgin to Yahushua. That's part of that, those righteous virgins. You know. Go to Ezekiel 16:36. So you want to be on the right side of the virgin line. So we're talking about no, you know what I'm saying? No real women in that fashion. Talking about people in the truth. 2/3.
Ezekiel chapter 16:36. Thus said the Lord God, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered, thy whoredoms with thy lovers.
Who are the lovers? All these other nations, all these philosophers, all that. You know what I'm saying? And you got our women into Buddhism, Erica Buddhism, Baptism, Mormonism, Scientology. Probably I don't know if I said that one. And Israelitism. The false.
And you know, I don't know if you heard, but that 2/3 that's on the dealing with America. You know, just to be sure if you didn't know. Yeah, that's dealing with just America alone. But you do got the wicked Israelites throughout the kingdom, other nations, they will be destroyed too. But that 2/3 pie chart is only dealing with America. The majority of us are here. Yeah, Zechariah 13. You know the problem. Jacob, you know that's only dealing with America.
And Jacob's trouble gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, Jacob's trouble gonna be everywhere. But that 2/3 is gonna be everywhere. And then it's gonna be missiles hit everywhere. Because they remember it said in second Ezra talk about the arrows shot in the end of the earth. You know, this place like Spartacus. You don't go out without shooting no missiles. There's gonna be stuff that can hit you over there. You know, but not all of it's gonna get destroyed. You know, and then it said the earth shall toss to and fro like a drunkard. So it's gonna be 100-foot radioactive tsunami waves and stuff. Jake ain't gonna want to be nowhere when the missiles hit, man. She don't want to be gone.
And it says that too because this is the core place.
Yeah,
This is the core place.
yeah,
This is the core place.
yeah. That in all the land here.
Once this is wiped out, everybody gonna fear on that
Everybody
side.
gonna fear on the other side. Yep.
Go ahead.
It said, and with all the idols of thy abominations,
All the idols of your mom. That's how you know it's talking about. You know how people got an ideology or something. That word ideology, or ideal or something, that comes from idol. You know what I'm saying? You make up a God in your mind, or you make up an idea in your mind, and you start getting into it and worshiping those things that comes out of. You know, go ahead.
it says, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them. Behold, therefore, I will gather all thy lovers, with whom thou hast taken pleasure.
Yeah, you laid down in the bed with them, you know, believing in it, and systematically, religion-wise, philosophically. Go ahead.
And all them that thou hast loved,
Thou hast love.
with all them that thou hast hated.
Yep.
And I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them.
Yeah. So we shameful. They see our shame in the news. They see our shame on TikTok, YouTube, in the streets. You know. This one I think one brother posted the videos of Moabite. She could have been a Jake, but looked like a Moabite. She said she was like talking about the black women buying hair products and talking about, the ingredients and poisons in there. I don't know why it needs to be banned, the ingredients in there, because it's poison in the skull, the head of people that wear it. Talking about our women and shit.
You know who the Moab is, right? Yeah, Chinese. Okay.
So that's an embarrassment to the nation, man.
Yeah.
That's a shame. You know, we shouldn't even have to be up here talking to our people like this.
Yeah.
Like Apostle.
I gotta give me a belt. Gotta give me a belt for this thing.
Wake up!
I just gotta give me a strap, man. Strap a garment down like Juan got.
But like Apostle Boy said, we kind of like prostitutes. Like prostitute may stand before. Stoop means come prostitute means statue and crow means before, like statue before or standing before. But we're standing out before the Most High in shame when sackcloth. It says when you prophesy sackcloth.
Yeah.
Because it's a shame. Like we have to tell our people, like we went off. Like we shouldn't be in this state. We should be royal and rich and have people working. Imagine you royal and rich and somebody see you in sackcloth saying, wake up. Like, this is the rich people this is Israel that was called, royal and priestly. What the hell happened?
This is sackcloth, like we're wearing mixed fabrics. We don't know where all our stuff comes from.
Well, and it's mainly talking about the spirit.
Yeah.
Soft cloth in your spirit, humble in your spirit.
Okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, just we're seeing it on both sides. Like, we're seeing that, the spirit is when we get built up back on. But, they seeing us out here like, damn, like they need to be lost out, man. We be decked out, man.
We ain't nowhere close to how we used to be decked out.
What he said, you take all of those diadems, the gold, the jewelry, all that. He took all that from us, man. All that, man. We out here ragging.
Now we just wear rocks. Back then, just the remembrance of Jake used to get stoned when he just kept going off. That's the only thing. Yeah.
What's that in Isaiah? Isaiah, what he said?
But then on the downfall of that, he turned our women as an example instead of burning. So, our women when you see like the woman in her not submissive, but in a spoiled state where she spoils the booty for a nation, that means that nation got taken over. So yeah, because they ain't even supposed to be nowhere in the precincts or in the cities like this. They're supposed to be controlled in submissive state.
Verse 38 it says, and I will judge thee as a woman that break wedlock.
So we're married to the Most High, like it says in Jeremiah, and we're not a whore. We're a woman that broke wedlock. We got a husband. These other nations says, they don't have pretty much a God. All their gods are idols. We do. So the Most High ain't gonna treat us like no whore. He's gonna treat us like a woman that broke wedlock. Like, because a whore, she could kind of be like, I don't have no husband. I'm out here and she got a certain freedom. People think she got a certain freedom. And then, if a man find out a woman is out there and have a husband, he's gonna be like, a decent man, he's gonna be like, oh shit, I ain't dealing with you and shit. You got a man, fuck that. That used to be a thing back then at one point. Jacob respect another man, if that's his woman, he's like, oh, got a man already. Now niggas don't care. They become wicked and vicious.
It says, I will judge thee as a woman that break wedlock and shed blood and shed blood or judge.
Yep.
And I will give thee.
Go ahead.
And I will give thee blood and fury and blood.
That's it. It says, I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy.
Okay, that's it.
Because that's 1611 version.
Okay, it's like
1611. And that's it. But back to my verse. So, we want to be on the right side where we don't make the Most High jealous. And we don't want Most High periods. Or get the judgment from the business.
Also, that's twofold. That's talking about Babylon, the great Lord.
And that's how we doing it. We confirming the souls of the disciples and seeing, how we got to be all in agreement with everything. That's why we constantly go over. It's a lot in there.
Back at 3, Matthew 5:3. And then the foolish took their lamps and took oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. And that's how you know it's going to be dark time, because what is a lamp used for? To see. It's going to get real dark in this place. It says, let's see what Leviticus
Leviticus 24:1. Lord, how about you know, shout spake unto Moses, saying, man, the children of Israel Yeah, pure oil, olive, beaten for the light.
Yeah.
Cause the lamps to burn.
When I learned to burn continually, get that scripture that says the word is a lamp unto my feet. See, these Jake that don't want to abide by this word, they ain't gonna have no oil for their lamps. They ain't gonna have no lit lamps. We're really the street lights.
This is Psalm 119, verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
Yep, thy word is a lamp unto my feet.
And a light unto my path.
Light unto my path. Let me get Isaiah 30 and 22. See, that's it right there. All right. Isaiah 30 and 22 says, ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images, and the ornaments of thy molten images. Behold, thou shalt cast them away as mistress cloth. Thou shalt say to it, get thee hence. You know? Remember, you don't want to be that's how those other versions work out. Boy,
they were always back talking.
Yep, built the conversation.
Always, trying to do it their own way. Yep. We ain't here for that. We here to make sure we do it the right way so that we can destroy it.
Yep. It said by the bridegroom's theory. No, he ain't gonna come. It ain't gonna be no son of God coming back. Okay, hold on. It says they all some misled. So they start to get the name, break down, they sleeping, they go down, they dreaming of America and shit, dreaming of another thing and shit.
That's why I said, in the book of Luke, it said that the soul that turned back, you gonna find no pleasure. You gotta take it real serious. Once you pick this flower up, you start to that's really when it starts. Because you got some people that maybe been teaching, they wasn't in the right doctrine. Maybe they just they stopped teaching that. That ain't really like them dropping the Bible. They never picked it up. It's when you step into the right doctrine, that's when you pick that flower. That's when you can't stop. That's where it's got to go.
That's why if he talks about when you ignore it, you know it, but you ignore it. That's where ignorance comes from. Ignoring it. It says, and then there's a such thing as sleep of death. Death is sleep of death. It says, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight, there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom coming. Go ye out to meet him. That's your outside going back. Some people might be literally in the house and be like, your outside, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah, and like you said, go down. Even when they're coming out here doing on the streets, like what a lot of these camps ain't doing. These IUIC, when all
they go on the highway.
Well, they go on the highway.
The leadership is.
The leadership. Yeah, that's what I meant. The leadership.
What's the first thing you do when you're about to get married and shit? Even in this world, what's the first thing a woman does or a man have in their mind to do? Get dressed. I gotta get my tuxedo. I gotta pick out my wedding dress. So your shy return, you ain't got your garment. You're gonna be butt naked. You ain't gonna want to come outside. You're gonna be like ashamed, like I didn't do no work. I ain't got no videos. Can't against men. I don't know. I was traveling the flex.
names. Because it's just like if you had a wife, you don't want her calling you another name when you're finna get married. You know, that's not his name. You know, it's the Hebrew tongue, you know. You know, so we call on those names Yahweh, Yahawashi. You know, that's his true name. You know, that's the main thing.
Make it without it.
Yeah, they don't understand. That's where it started. We have all the doctrine. You call on the wrong name, it ain't matter. You gonna say I don't know.
Show you how it's eat of the tree that was a commandment, and you broke the commandment. It's a commandment to call on the Most High. So you basically, if you don't, you sin.
You know that philosophy.
It says, then verse 7, then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. Jeremiah, I think did we get it? Jeremiah 31:4.
Yeah.
We just get that.
Okay. Yeah, we're in Leviticus
31:4. 31:4 says, again, I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O virgin of Israel. Now, this is the real virginization, because it's a rebirth. You got to be born again to come into this truth. It ain't no talking about no woman that's able to virginize herself. So it says, "O virgin of Israel, O virgin daughter of Israel."
You know what's fun? The temple is getting spiritual now. That scripture right there, yeah, he said, you shall be built. That's the physical.
O virgin of Israel, I will build thee, thou shalt be built, O virgin of Israel. Thou shalt again be adorned with thy tabrets, shalt go forth in the dances of them, and make merry. Thou shalt plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria, the planters shall eat them. There shall be a day that the watchmen upon the mountain shall cry, rise ye and let us go up to Zion, to the Lord our power. Israel coming back together, Israel singing once again in a glorious state. And that's happening now in the spirit of the word being professed, highways and byways. We're in our wedding garments right now. Spiritual, you know? It says, wake, O Jerusalem, put on that beautiful garment. Y'all don't look like y'all got a beautiful garment. Spiritually, man. But we're gonna be decked out still in the kingdom every day. You know? But so the virgin of Israel is the elect. That's the elect being built. Just like now.
You got to get some clouds over there in our land to start building another temple.
Yeah. Come on. Waiting for the Messiah and all that. They copy off what we do.
They preparing right now to build another third temple.
Yeah.
They said.
Let them try to build it. It says, verse 8, and the foolish said unto the wise, that's how you know the unwise version said to the wise version. It says, and that's what it said, wisdom and knowledge stability at high times. Them camps be saying that wisdom don't even matter. Well, it talks about the wise virgins. It says, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. Yeah, that spirit is gone out of us. We don't got the name no more. We don't know the breakdown. We don't, you know, our spirit feel like they start, like when the world go down, they spirit go down because they believe in the world. They went back into the world. So they be like, you know, can we get y'all? Chill with you, whatever.
What it said in the song, it said that the righteous shall rejoice when they see the big.
Yeah.
So the curse of the world, they gonna be sad, like you said. They gonna be all, butthurt, but righteous, it's gonna be chilling. They gonna be getting praise up, getting praise. Thank you, y'all, about your shop, man.
We don't have to wait until the end for that. We're doing that now.
Yeah.
You know? It says, the wise answered and said, not so. Let there be not enough and you. Go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourself. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. You know? And you can't get the Holy Spirit from anywhere else. They said in Matthew or Luke, purchase the Holy Spirit. So you can't get this in you by reading the scripture, by just thinking about it. You gotta be, Most High gotta put it in your inward parts. It gotta be grow inside. Just like that wicked seed grew in Adam, but the righteous seed gotta grow in you. You know? People think they can just have faith. Faith is a gift. You know, you can just wake up one morning. I got faith. You ain't been tested to even have faith. You know? You ain't no adversity. It says they went out to buy. Bridegroom came. Oh, so hey. Yeah, wicked side. Some of them might try to buy that, sell and buy in this world with the chip and stuff. Then they want to get with the Most High when it's time for judgment or returning of the Son of God. It says, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut, just like the days of Noah. When the doors of Noah shut and the rain came, they couldn't get in. Most High didn't say, hey, open the door, Noah, let one more in. Everybody that was out drowned, man.
That's how it is coming with this fire.
With
just
this fire.
Like it was saying, between the fire and the water.
Yep.
You know, we got to make sure that we in the doors before the door gets shut. Yeah. You got some people that's going to be in the door and fuck around too much to get kicked out the dance floor. So we got to stay diligent.
There ain't gonna be no how you catch it in the foot in your door and you like, oh, there ain't gonna be none of that. The angels gonna set out. Boom, lightning and all that. You're gonna be shut on your ass. Let's go to Luke 13:25. See what that says. 13 and 25. Says, oh, we read that too. It says, strive, started 24, strive to enter in the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. When once the master of the house is risen up and has shut the door, and you begin to stand without and to knock on the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open up to us, he shall answer and say unto me, I know you not whence ye are. You know? Then shall you begin to say, we have drunken in your presence, eaten and drunken in your presence, have taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know ye not whence ye are. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. There shall be gnashing and weeping of teeth. When you see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of heaven of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh saying yourselves thrust out.
And you know what? That makes sense. He said when the doors are shut, you know, this ministry is over. You know, the prophets ain't out here no more. He said, what they gonna say? It's out in our streets. Ate, drank, they make a lot of drive by horse. You see that door on the streets. They gonna come around like.
And even the ones that have the same day in the ministry. Because Most High said he's going to start at his sanctuary.
But a lot of people don't understand that the kingdom of the Most High is that government. 144,000 elect men, that's the kingdom. That government coming back. Everybody else out here, they think the kingdom of the Most High is just like, just flying in the air with wings and it's clouds and shit with everybody. We just do whatever the fuck we want to do. Like that's not the kingdom.
What did it say? Establish their own righteousness.
Yeah, man. Like you just a goddamn demon your whole life. You just get to go fly in there and be free. No. Hell no, man. What? Hell no.
Somebody in the corner of the earth talking about, I'm the one that's gonna bring Israel back. You ain't gonna do shit, man.
Yeah, man.
It's over. But yeah, we getting closed out. Hope we're edifying, man. Spiritually living off the grid, man. And pretty soon it's gonna happen physically. And Most High, it said the spirit is ready, flesh is weak, spirit is ready. So we ain't worried about that either. We feel we believe that we're gonna be all right overall. You know. So this is time of the hopeful year of our deliverance. You know, off the grid and destruction and judgment into Esau. You know, so with all everything, we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh, double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, great men, so much I teach you, brothers, for the open elect. Soon to be the elect, Most High will. He said he's short time for the elect. Take the elect work is being done. And the contrite spirits and the hopeful elect, extended hopeful elect, shalom, blessings, till we out of here, man. Do it to the end, Most High will, shalom.